Material objects. Why are they so important to us? Maybe they're to impress others, or maybe they just bring you memories. Maybe it's just something you felt was so cool you couldn't leave it sitting in the store for somebody else to buy. Just the thought of somebody else owning it would bring heat to your ears. For me, I have a few things within my possession that do hold some personal value, and I'm excited to share these with you and explain why I cherish them. I hope this will help you guys learn a little bit more about me and what makes me tick. Hopefully a better understanding of my personality through this virtual show and tell, which I'm excited for because I don't think I've had a show and tell since maybe kindergarten or first grade. These are important for you to know because learning more about your peers' interests is important. It'll give you a deeper insight into who these people are and who you are sharing with. Hello again, my name is BJ, and I'm qualified to speak on this subject today because I have some cool stories I would love to share with you guys about the items I'm about to show you. And here's what I'm going to share with you guys today. A small piece of my skateboard collection, why I think inclusion is important for everybody, and why I have a box of silverware from the 1950s. So let's get started with a skateboard. But not just any skateboard, this is a quartet skateboard with none other than my favorite rapper, Mac Dre. And what compelled me to share this with you guys today is that my best friend Gabe rode for this company back in 2016. So I had a little bit of hometown pride feelings towards this company for this reason, along with the fact that being from Northern California, I grew up listening to a lot of Bay Area rap, and this guy was one of my favorites. And I remember when we first received this shipment for these boards at Tactics, we had racks and racks of skateboards in this cold, dimly lit, very creepy basement. I used to go downstairs in our downtime and I would just look through all the shelves. And I felt like a kid in a creepy candy store. We had and still have nothing like this in Redding, and it was an amazing experience. But within all of these shelves, hundreds and hundreds of boards, this one caught my eye. And I could not grab my wallet out of my pocket quick enough. And I was so proud of Gabe in Northern California at that moment. And I took it home and I displayed it within all of my boards on this little 300 square foot apartment we had. And I always thought that skateboards made the best wall art. So, now that you know a little bit more about that skateboard, here's some of my heroes. John Cardiel, Al Partonen, and Darren Navarrete. This anti-hero sticker here is signed by John Cardiel. He's one of the best skateboarders ever. He's also from Northern California, and that's awesome. However, this sticker was just kind of a gift. I don't really have a cool story about it, but I didn't want to separate this picture. This one, though, this is a signed Thrasher Skate Rock CD sleeve. This was an amazing experience, and I will hold on to this for the rest of my life. I was maybe 13, and Thrasher was touring Northwest. Red Bluff happened to be one of their stops. Now, everybody knew they were going to be there. Still baffles me because we had no iPhones or social media, so I don't know. But what is important is that I was new to skateboarding, and I was little and obviously nervous in an environment full of drunk, sweaty, bloody, scary, big adults, and I wanted to meet the pros. One pro, Al Partonen, took the time to take me around the park and introduce me to everyone he knew. Darren Navarrete signed this in a heartbeat. He was such a sweet dude. And Dog Boy, I remember Al saying, "This is Dog Boy, he's kind of mean. Let me get him out of the bowl and get a signature for you." And it was an amazing introduction to skateboarding and a model of how kids should be treated when they're interested in your lifestyle. And thank you, Al, for all of that. So now that you know about my favorite skateboard and my love for Al Partonen, I'd like to introduce you guys to my box of silverware from the 50s. My Aunt Janet was born in 1935 and was raised very modestly due to her parents' experiences within the Great Depression. And I say all this to say that Aunt Janet saved her money and really thought about the things she was going to buy before she bought them. This box of silverware is one of her items, and she passed away in 2020 at the age of 85. This is one of the things I wanted to keep. Why I feel this item is important is the fact that Aunt Janet kept all of her things in great condition, and she passed away with like an '03 Honda Odyssey, had 100,000 miles on it, mint condition. She did a good job. To me, the fact that she purchased these in her 20s really signifies a difference in mentalities between the younger and older generations. It helps put into perspective for me that the simple things can sometimes be more impressive than what people find to be grander. I also cherish the silverware for as long as I have them. And what I find to be one of the coolest parts of this collection is that I will forever have my aunt's handwriting right here on this signature line. I love this thing. So now you know a little bit more about me, my skateboards and my pride in Northern California, and my friends' accomplishments. Why I feel it's important to guide the youth within your hobbies, and how I came into possession of a 46 piece of silverware set from the 50s. I counted them. I'm extremely excited to learn about you guys and what makes you tick. Maybe you have some silverware to share too.